Joker 2 trailer has now dropped, and we've had our arguments about the original Joker. But one thing I want to say, I don't think it should have gotten a sequel. I think the Joker movie should have stayed by itself.
I am of the different thought here. I mean, I like the Joker movie, and it did seem like a one shot. I'll give you that, but I'm not opposed to it there being a sequel. That's if they, can do it as well as they did the original.
It's not even, it's like, so I'm going to list off a couple movies here that I heard is getting a sequel a year ago and even now. Smile, the horror movie that took everybody by surprise last year, even though it wasn't that good, in my opinion, it wasn't that good. That didn't need a sequel. The Black Phone is getting a sequel. The Black Phone should not have a sequel. It shouldn't have a sequel. It shouldn't. That might just be a rumor, but I've heard announcements that the Black Phone is getting a sequel. No. Okay. It should stand on its own.
Jog my memory here. Jog my memory. Black Phone was this kid stuck in a basement with the phone, right? Okay. I did watch that one. It's getting a sequel?
It's getting a sequel. Why is it getting a sequel? There was nothing in the movie that baited towards a sequel.
No.
Hey, spoilers, anybody you want to skip, I don't know, however long until we're not talking about the Black Phone, but the killer dies. He dies in the movie.
Yeah.
So how are we I hope they don't turn into like, well, it's a Michael Myers thing where, well, yeah, he killed him, but there wasn't even that, because at the end of the original Halloween, you thought Michael Myers died, but when she looked out the window, he was gone. So you knew he was alive. Yeah. In this, he chokes the fucking guy out.
Yeah.
And he dies. There's no reason. Anyways, back to Joker.
There's no reason that movie needs a sequel.
Back to Joker. There's no use for a sequel. The first one was great. It stood on its own, but Joaquin Phoenix is not Joker in this new James Gunn DCEU. He's just not. Batman 2, there was a rumor that Joaquin Phoenix was going to be the Joker in Batman 2, and the director of Batman 2 said, no, he's not. And even then, those Batman movies are not connected to the DCEU. Those are going to stand by itself. So you have this, I don't know. Maybe if you want to see it as a comic book sort of thing where the Joker has his own story where he does this thing, but it's not direct. I don't know. But I think the Joker movie was good enough, and it set itself up in a way where it shouldn't have a sequel.
Okay, no, it didn't. I mean, okay, at the end of that movie, at the end of the first Joker, there was the snapshot you see of tiny Bruce Wayne, seeing his parents get shot and whatnot. But they still play on, like, this story's going to continue. How? And it does. For one, by that scene, because, that's the setup for Batman, but seems from the trailer that I'd seen, it didn't seem like Batman was going to be in that movie, but it still played off like in this trailer. For the record, this is a trailer, so I'm not really giving out any spoilers. You see a character that's going to be Harley Quinn, Joker and Harley Quinn. That's just a classic, together. So there's more development going on. The movie doesn't necessarily call Joaquin Phoenix Joker at all.
Except in the title.
In the title. But, like, in the movie, it doesn't.
Well, that's the whole argument I had with you earlier. I don't think, or not earlier, but a couple episodes ago when we had the discussion about Joker, the Joker movie's not Joker. You're saying right now, Joker is not Joker.
Yeah.
He's labeled as Joker. That original movie, that is not the Joker character. He doesn't act like the Joker outside of being an insane clown. He doesn't act like the Joker. It doesn't set him up as the Joker. It sets him up as a insane person that was shit on by society, and a lot of people got around that and started committing chaos in his name, which is fine, but it's not the Joker. And now with Joker 2, I think it's going to fall in the same hole that Gotham did, where Gotham was supposed to be a prequel following Jim Gordon. Do you remember the show Gotham?
I barely watched any of that show, actually.
Okay, but in that, they started introducing Penguin and Joker because everybody was like, okay, I want to watch a Gotham show, but I want to watch Batman. And they introduced Batman and yada, yada, yada. And it's like,
in the Gotham show, Batman wasn't Batman yet, if I recall correctly, right?
He was, So I think the first episode was Jim Gordon consulting young Bruce Wayne. And then as the seasons went on, he became a teenager and you started seeing that he was interested in the detective stuff. And I believe in the final season, he became like a young version of Batman. I believe. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I just hope that Joker does not fall in that same hole, in that same criticism of like people saying, okay, yeah, Joker's cool. But now you're introducing Joker as a really old Joker. No hate on Joaquin Phoenix, looks great, but he's an old Joker, and he's already meeting Harley Quinn when that doesn't happen till well into Batman's reign as Batman.
I'm not going to argue and say it's canon or not, because it's obviously not. But I'm not against there being a second movie. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
I think obviously wouldn't be canon with how old they are now compared to how old Batman was in the last movie, or Bruce Wayne at that point.
I think it goes to an argument about what movies should get sequels and what shouldn't get sequels. Because I think they're just trying to capitalize on how successful Joker was. But I don't feel it's a movie. Okay, I won't say it doesn't deserve a sequel.
I will say there's no say like that they shouldn't capitalize on that, because I mean, my only thing is if the movie's going to be just as good, why not capitalize on it for one?
Sure.
I don't know if the movie's going to be that good, but I'm hoping it would be.
I guess you are arguing from the optimistic glass half full point of view, and I'm going glass half empty just because of the reputation people have on this successful movie, Lightning in a Bottle, great movie, and then they're like, well, everybody loved it, and it made a lot of money, so sequel, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
it's practically what they did. I'm not going to say they didn't, but I mean, it was a good movie, and hopefully they'll keep that trend going.
A Quiet Place is proving me wrong. Quiet Place 1 was great. Quiet Place 2 was great. Day 1, I think it's called. It looks like it's going to be good. Out. So A Quiet Place keeps proving me wrong on a movie where I felt it shouldn't have got a sequel.
But we did discuss A Quiet Place and how they're turning the Day 1 into like an action movie, at least what it looks like. Sort of.
Maybe like very Resident Evil kind of survival horror.
They're straying away from the original Quiet Place.
I will say if they do that and they do that successfully, I'll backtrack on this hate or hesitation to fall in love with movies that are automatically getting a sequel, because I immediately say, oh, it's a cash grab, and they're just going to fuck it up.
Sometimes they do, and I'm not going to say they don't, because there have been several movies where I'm just like, okay, that's just, no.
And it does get me nervous that in the trailer, it says something about how music is like the heart of whatever. Everybody's saying that is going to be a musical.
In Joker?
Yes. In the second Joker movie.
If they make that movie a musical, I will retract every statement I have.
Dude, that's what really... I heard Joker was getting a sequel, and I was like, eh. And then I heard, oh, it's going to be like a musical, and I was like, what?
I'm tired of movies getting turned into musicals. Some of them work, some of them don't, but like...